appreciate it.
So we are usually talking in this podcast about bringing ideas to life. Usually we are talking about one idea, but you are more than that. You have several ideas that you have taken to life. So can you explain more about it?
Absolutely. Well, I love to be an entrepreneur. I started about 5 years old doing little businesses. So it's definitely my blood. Both mom and dad were both entrepreneurs. Dad CPA, mom photographer. I'm a little bit of both of them. An artist that makes money. My first business that I started was called ExtraOrdinaire. And we were the first ones to invent bride t-shirts and novelty products. So in an industry that did not exist, there were no t-shirts in a bridal shop. There were only bridal dresses. We decided to make t-shirts that say bride, bridesmaid, sashes, little sandals that say just and married. And we brought about 1,000 products to market. And Trista Wren, she was on ABC. She wore my shirt, this little tiny uh, pink shirt that said bride on ABC. She was on The Bachelor. And once this shirt hit the stands, hit the TV, we went profitable. And then this created an entire business um, of tees, tanks, hoodies. And we really revolutionized a market that did not exist at all. It was a push market.
Excellent. So just one coincidence or one event that changes everything.
That's right. My mom always taught me, you are who you are in the dark. Treat everybody kind. Be a blessing where you go. And ironically, Trista Wren was in a friend of mine's driver's ed class. And we were able to, by a twist of fate, hand the t-shirt to the celebrity. So there's some serendipitous qualities. I think when you're prepared and luck happens, you make magic. So I always tell people, be as prepared as you can. If you have a product, keep it in your car. You never know who you're going to meet. So we love what we did. I worked with my best friend from college, and I built that company. It took us 10 years and then sold it. So we sold nationwide to David's Bridal, Michael's, Dillard's, Party City, which was very exciting.
Excellent. What happened then?
Well, so we revolutionized this market again because I wanted to do something different. I saw a need in the marketplace. And when you're an entrepreneur, if you're looking for that problem and you solve it with your solution, that's an idea that takes life. And it's no longer cheap. You can do it. So I didn't really care for the wild bachelorette stuff. I wanted something classier. So I did customized shirts that said soon to be Mrs. Corbett or the new last name. So it was a classier touch on girls like attention, and they would have their entourage, but it was classier. So I revolutionized that market, and I took my wedding ring and made it into buttons and pins, and women love this. So when you see a little spark, you get an idea in the shower when you're quiet, write it down. If you get a notebook that has no, pages that you could tear out, you can use it if you're patenting something legally. So I always tell entrepreneurs to write down the time you got your idea, and where your inspiration came is really important. And to track that, I seem to be very creative at night. I'm like an owl, a night owl, but I really enjoy from the concept in your brain to walking into a marketplace and seeing your product live is absolutely exhilarating. It's very special.
Okay, but let me ask you at this point, what do you think is the greatest struggle that people have with this from the idea, because I think a lot of people have ideas, a lot of people doing showers, and they get this idea, oh, it could be a great idea, it could revolutionize something, but then nothing happened. What is that move, that thing that uh, drives you to really accomplish something? What's the
Robert,
difference between them, the dreamers, and the doers
well,
like you?
Robert, this is a great question. So I think to answer this question, what's very important is a P of a plan of action. If you have a great idea and you do nothing with it, it sits, poof, vanished, it's gone. So coming up with the steps that you need to take. Step one, know your target market. Step two, know if you have competitors. Step three, put out a very good sample product and really rework it and rework it and rework it until it gets ready for market. And another problem that I see often is people always ask people who don't run businesses, hey, do you like this product? Well, oftentimes they get negative feedback and it squashes that dream. I
Mhm.
tell people, if you're going to make a product, deal with people who have made products and go to the people who have already done what you're trying to do. There is master classes. There are proficient people everywhere you go. So asking questions is very important. Uh, we have access to everything. AI, it's everything is at your tips. So there really is no excuse. It's on your shoulders. So take your idea, write it down, give yourself a timeline. I will do this first, then this, then I will work on packaging and then knowing my market. And it's just really important to be your own cheerleader. I was a cheerleader, but you have to be your own cheerleader.
Mm. Yes, but it helps if you have a co-founder or a friend or somebody who is there to support you, or you support each other. And I think that's a great thing. Or have a mentor who can help you and give you the courage, because I think that's where most people stop when they see, okay, I have to do this and this and this, and there are 1,000 things you have to do before you can go to the market. But sometimes they are really simple, but they don't see it like it is simple.
Well, this is the greatest way ideas die is because people tell their friend may not know, and they say, that's not a good idea, or I saw something like this. But your idea is special. I I always want to tell people that you have great ideas. There's a book inside you, there's a product inside you. You just got to listen to those tiny whispers, and the whisper becomes, you know, a beautiful project. So, not getting overwhelmed. I think engineers, my husband is an engineer. When you look at a bridge, you say, my goodness, how did that bridge get built? But if you take it one brick at a time, business
Yeah,
is just like this,
yeah,
bite-sized pieces. You're going to take one thing. Only this week I'm going to work on my target market. Only next week I'm going to work on suppliers. I'm going to work on cost. Here's another thing, knowing your cost and trying
yeah.
to keystone a good product. We have, this is one of my husband's projects, but this is just like a hitch. It's a hitch clamp for your car. So it revolutionized, there was a rattle. So sometimes when people are Googling a problem, whatever that problem is, the solution, they'll Google that. So this is an anti-rattle. It happens to be a small widget that prevents a very annoying habit happening over and over. So I like to think like that, like a Rubik's Cube. If you don't get it right the first time, keep twisting, keep getting those ideas until you match up one color, and
Yeah.
then you match up your second color. And business is funny like that. You got to just keep trying. I think, I've had some businesses fail and I've had a lot succeed, but in that you keep reworking that. And that's important, is to never, ever give up,
Mhm.
because it's there, um, you know, and just be like a tiny tiger. You just got to keep going and keep trying. And it's you who motivates you. People sometimes say, it all starts with
Yeah.
your idea, and just just presenting it to the world. Because as soon as you get those sales, the world says yes, and then it multiplies. And that's how the world is. Of course we get no's, but with those t-shirts, I would get 12 to 25 no's a day, but I held out for that yes. And it was a push market. We were pushing t-shirts on a bridal store that did not have t-shirts.
Mm.
So that's
Yes.
one of
I also see a lot of times that people are not stick to that one idea long enough. I'm always saying, be like a post stamp. Uh, be on that envelope until you reach the destination, because there's so much uh, other bright shiny things around. You can try this and try this and try this. Everybody's convincing you, okay, try this, this can bring you millions and millions, and it's easy money and so on, but it's usually not that easy. But people, okay, jump to this and jump to this and jump to that, and they're circling around because they don't stick to one thing until it's there, until it's successful. That's one of the things that I saw is really big problem with wannabe entrepreneurs.
Well, I love your post-it stamp analogy, because everybody says it took me 10 years to build a multi-million dollar company, and people say it was an overnight success. Well,
Mm.
not really. I put the
Yeah.
hours in.
Yeah.
10 years, 17-hour days, a lot of hard work, and I just would not give up. I mean, there's an old saying, entrepreneurs die trying, and that's true. We
Yeah.
really go after it. And you're
Yeah.
right, you got to just stick to it till that destination is complete. And there are going to be those hard days, but now you can make any business. There are angel investors, there are friends with extra money. There are, and it only takes asking. What's the worst they could say is no, and who cares?
Oh, now you bring so great topic, because I was really scared about communicating with people, and I have a challenge for myself to talk to 100 CEOs in the last 4 months of the last year, and it was challenging, really challenging at the beginning, because I was not really comfortable with talking to strangers, uh, and then I realized that we can help each other, and they're ordinary people, and they're interested in what I'm doing, what are my struggles, what are my successes, and it was great. And we can really through different connections help each other with investors, with different products matching, and it was great. It was really just asking, and reaching
Yes.
out. Yeah.
Well, I love that you interviewed over 100 CEOs, and that's super powerful. And I think the uniqueness of each entrepreneur has a story woven in them of
Mhm.
why they tried so hard or they never gave up. But if you're, there's no difference between me and anybody else. I just tried extra hard.
Yeah.
So sometimes people want the golden recipe. I just never gave up. That's really what it was. And I was faithfully in tune to who I was as a person. Just my ethics stayed intact. I was bringing products that I believed to a market. And our newest product is we've done these grill tools. This is our newest one. So products can come out of anywhere. My husband is a welder and an engineer. So we were another problem solution. We had products. We were flipping a burger and it broke. So poor quality is another reason why people make good products.
Yeah.
So this is made out of stainless steel, and this is our grill tools. And we have a little bottle opener and a widget up at the top. So sometimes when you build in four ideas in one, it's value added. So this is our newest little baby we brought to market. Sometimes we skip markets because once you're bringing a product to market, kind of it's the same baby, just different clothes.
Mm.
You kind of are doing those same steps over and over. Packaging, whether it's blister packaging to prevent stealing, or it hangs at the top so the people can have it in the stores so they can touch it.
Mhm.
So knowing what your product is really important, and then knowing how to sell it. I love selling, and basically, if you have a great product, it doesn't. It's not that hard. If you sell quality,
Yeah.
if you don't, it's a one hit wonder. It'll come right back to you. It's like a boomerang. So I try to deliberately finesse all products that go to market because that is my name. That is my reputation out there.
Yeah. Excellent. So, what about the teams? Can you share more about how do you handle co-workers, co-founders, and things like this? I talk to a lot of CEOs and who basically struggle with communicating with people and being effective, being productive. How do you handle that?
Well, this is a great question. I'm a triple major with apparel design, manufacturing, production, and psychology. My psychology I use the most. Working with people, all shapes, sizes, color, creed, nationalities. It can be a journey. I have had anywhere from 5 employees to 25, and working with different people and different personalities is important. I believe if you are going to be the boss, your your emotional intelligence must be high. So I recommend that book. Um, and that you do not go up and down with your business. You must be stable like a pilot. You want to cry in your car, go cry in your car, but not in front of your employees. And keep as stable as possible. Business goes up and down, but you can't go with it. You got
Mhm.
to continue to be stable. So, working with different personalities, I think really hitting the head on the nail is you got to be deliberate in what you're expecting from your employees. So I like lists. I don't really care for micromanaging my employees, and oftentimes I will reflect exactly what would you do if I wasn't here, and then hear and empower them, because I don't want a kindergarten classroom. I want empowered employees. I
Yeah.
want employees that I thank every time we get an order, and I thank them first. I, as a boss, knew how to do everything I asked them, and I timed myself. So I would take out the trash in my high heels and my suit. There was no job that was beneath me. I did it
Mhm.
all. And I expected, you treat them with respect, you get respect back. You
Yeah.
treat them with decency. And here's the ticket. If they feel appreciated, they do great work. It's that easy.
Yeah.
And occasionally, if one of my employees was crying or had a bad day, I wanted my shirt to be made with love. So I'd have them go walk in the parking lot. I get them water, take a time out, come back. And if you need a personal health day, do it. Um, we're human. I adore that. And I loved my employees dearly. I felt honored, and thank them because it's not me, it was we. That's the difference. I think my dad had employees that stayed with him 35 years, but because he treated them with family. I'm Italian, so we treat everybody like family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really remarkable how easy it sounds sometimes, like you were saying, because it's so obvious and so natural, but it's not always like this. Uh, especially when people are not aware of, or if they, I see it a lot in the software companies, when somebody is a great engineer and then he's promoted to the higher rank, and he's not educated, and
Sure.
he's not aware of things that his duties have changed. That
Correct.
and it's catastrophe sometimes.
Well, that is a really good example. I'm married to an engineer, and they very intelligent. And I believe everybody's like an animal. If you're a leopard, you're not going to paint stripes like a zebra. Use your natural gifts. And if you know the gifts that you do not have, I am not as good in computers as I am in creative, but I hired out. So know your skills. I think that's where people get in trouble. They say, I'm a leader, but they hate people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like, guess what? I don't know why it's not working. Or I, I want to do sales, but I like to hide in my room. You have to use your God given talents that were meant for you. So
Yeah.
I think when people are real honest with themselves, I always like to make lists. These are the things I'm not good at, and these are the things I'm good at. And do I have to hire out? Because I'm happy to hire some extra A students in the places I got B's. I am humbled by that. I'm happy to do
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
So I think as a leader, you have to recognize that. I think you have to recognize your own personal, you know, and in keeping employees is also making it fun. I did. I tried hard. We did contests and games and free lunch and free clothes. I try to make it fun, because when you're a team, everybody does good. And if you're not, you know, I, I think it's really important when people. I brought up my company where we all helped each other. This was not one server only doing their table. It was the whole restaurant was happy
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So when the customer's happy, everybody's happy. And of course, you're going to get those people who are not happy ever. They come to me. I send them to my competitor. No, but I do reiterate, you know, that there's a certain level I can try to make somebody happy, but you know, I don't always make everybody happy. But listening, the art of listening is quite important
Yeah.
to your employees and to complaints. You know,
Yes, of course. Yes. I think that people are, especially, we are really bad at listening. Uh,
we are.
yes. We usually listen to respond, not to hear. And that's I think the biggest mistake you as a leader, or also as an entrepreneur, because if a customer says something to you and you have your version, uh, it 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 just can't help the customer, because they see it their way and they cannot see it your way, and you cannot convince them into seeing it your
Right,
way by
right.
talking them into that. Yeah.
It is true. And really being able to reiterate that body language back to them, that verbiage back to them, so they feel heard. If they didn't like your shirt and it was the wrong shade of pink, it was blush and a pinky, whatever, I try to offer refunds immediately and rectify all situations. I always say when you see the problem, you're 50% to the solution. So
Mm,
and they really want to be heard. You got a upset customer, they just want to be heard. Maybe their dog died, who knows, but you might be in the line of fire. And don't take it personal. We can't make everybody happy. Our product might not be for everyone. So I think what you're saying is very important. And generally the quietest person in the room is the smartest. So back to your listening.
and I really like that analogy with, perhaps their dog died, because I also always think, if there's some uh, you know not good language, and I always think, okay, what could bother the other person? because it's obviously that something is going on. It's not uh, natural to act like this.
It is. And I think it's, some people just like to make other people miserable. But, I pray for them. I smile to them. I give them extra love because really it's only the people hurting that are acting like that. So I try to use compassion and, my own stainless steel shield, which is love and kindness and listening.
Yeah.
10 years of brides. We were in the bridal industry. They're fanatical
Mhm.
and wild and wonderful and unpredictable. So we dealt with a special breed of human beings during that
Yes.
delicate time. So, we always said we're not saving lives. I'm not a doctor. I'm making clothes. I am a writer. You know, I think if you take it down to context, we were making T-shirts. I would make special care packages or, beautiful things or an extra handwritten note. People love that. I know we're at the computer world of AI, but I was throwing a sweet note and it went far and I
Mhm.
meant it.
Yeah. I don't agree with you with that, what you said, that you don't save lives, uh, especially regarding what you say, how what kind of boss you were, or you are, because I just read that um, the bosses influence your health much more than everything else around you. So you perhaps save lives.
Well, yes, and I do. That's really cute. It's true. I mean, you're spending 40 plus hours with these people, and you might as well make it fun.
Yeah.
My business partner and I, we would get little treats for people, or donuts, or drinks, or fun stuff to make it fun. We had a little refrigerator filled with cutie pie drinks, so they felt at home. A beautiful pink couch. uh, you know we know you're trying to work, but we also know you're human. So, those little tips. I love cash. I love to give cash tips and walk by somebody's desk and just say thank you. There's nothing better than showing your appreciation immediately. I
Yeah.
like surprises. I think you keep your employees on your toes. The employees I had at the beginning went with me the whole way, and I couldn't keep them happy always, but I did my best at least trying. They knew I cared for them.
Excellent. Okay, we are almost at the end of our session. I would like to ask you if the listeners could help you with something. What would you ask them to do, or
Oh,
how could they do that?
I love this. Well, I'm currently writing 4 books, and they're on unwrapping business secrets. And out of all the business secrets that they want to know, I would love it if they drop down the secret that they're most trying to solve and see if I can answer it. And if I can't, maybe I know somebody that can. Or Robert, have you're in the line of fire of all these CEOs, so
Yeah.
you're you're right there. So if I can sincerely answer questions, I will do my best, because knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And I believe you turn around and you help the next generation of beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for this uh, great presentation or and conversation. I'm sorry, and I was glad to have you here. And have a great day.
Thank you, Robert, for your time. It was wonderful. I sincerely appreciate you very much.
Bye.
Bye now.